The first day of school is just around the corner. And before we know it, our boys will be getting ready to head off to high school or college. As summer winds down and we try to get in some of those last minute trips, it's also time to start thinking about shopping. For school supplies, that is. Everyone needs them. And this is a great opportunity to work on a few life skills. Today we'll discuss how back-to-school shopping can help our sons develop a few skills they need to grow and to help protect them from some future mistakes. Welcome to Raising Boys with Purpose, a Christian parenting podcast for moms raising teens and young adult sons. I'm Brooke, a boy mom and parenting coach, and here we talk about raising sons, building character, and preparing our boys for adulthood with confidence and faith. For more encouragement and conversation throughout the week, come join our Raising Boys with Purpose Facebook group. The link for all my social media is in the description. It's that time of year again, back to school. This is new to a lot of our sons, though. New to high school and maybe new to college. Of course, this involves shopping. But as we pore over the lists of things our sons need, let's take this opportunity to teach a few life skills here and there. So I was in the store the other day, and my husband was with me. We were picking up a few odds and ends, and lo and behold, school supplies everywhere. I was like, what the heck? How are we already at this time? And so I'm looking at them and I see the kiosk with all of the school lists on there. And it just reminded me of when the boys were little and you pick up your list and you go shopping. And so when they're little, you do that a lot. You get all their stuff together and everything. But as they get older, it just kind of changes. So as I continued walking by, we were there for some towels. So I went over to the towel section and there's college stuff everywhere. There are, little bedding packages and all the things your student might need, the little microwaves, the refrigerators, all down the center aisle. And so it got me thinking about how this new school year is a new beginning for our sons. Whether it's high school, college, middle school, this is a new, fresh start for them. So what can we do to use this time to help them get better? When the kids were little, it was easy just to pick up the supply list and shop right there. They make it so easy for you. But as your son gets older, the supplies become more specific and expensive. The calculators, the books, and various other supplies. Or the bedding, towels, storage containers, and supplies they need for college. Let's be honest, some of these things, they're hard to budget for. And there are certain things they just have to have. But we can encourage our sons to learn to budget and spend the money wisely. First of all, let's encourage our sons to think about what they may already have from last year. This is a smart way for them to save some money. They may have their backpack that is still in good condition. There's no need to buy another one. Let's encourage them to go through their clothes. What still fits? I know my boys grew like crazy, and so it always seemed like we were buying new clothes. But now's a good time to see what is good for the school year and what needs to be donated or thrown away. This way we have a real idea of what they need, not just want. Now, on to the things they want. This is also a way to save money so that they can have some of the things they want. If your son is like mine, he wants the Nikes. But to make that more affordable, we'll have to save money in other places. This way he learns to prioritize. He learns how to save for what he wants. Another thing we can teach them to do that might sound a little boring is to comparison shop. Often, we don't do this as much as we used to, but it's a lost skill. I remember when my boys were in school and we were trying to find textbooks for college. Oh my gosh, they're so expensive. And even a lot of the books that they need in high school are expensive. But there are places online, including Amazon, to where you can just find used textbooks. You just have to make sure they're the right edition. Or you can rent textbooks, and then you just make sure that you return it in time at the end of the semester. This is a way you guys can work together. Maybe discover some other sites, maybe some publishers or something that may have deals going on. This way your sons learn not to just go out and just buy everything new, but this is an opportunity for them to save that money. Not just to put it in the bank, even though that's great, but also so they can afford the other things. Now, another part of budgeting is saving receipts. Honestly, this helps you keep track of your spending and you can write things down. But also, sometimes we buy things that we end up not needing. Or we accidentally buy duplicates because we found a really great deal and we wanted to get that and return the other thing. Encouraging your sons to keep those receipts. And sometimes you can even have them emailed so they can just always have it on hand. But encouraging them to keep track of those receipts so that they can return items instead of collecting a bunch of things with tags on them that eventually end up getting donated. Because to be honest, no one likes that feeling when you don't use something, the tags are still on it, and you don't have the receipts and you can't get your money back. Looking back, I'm actually surprised at how much we bought each year compared to how much our sons actually used. We often just bought too many clothes, too many school supplies, and even looking at the list, I would see boxes of Kleenex. Now, I know they use them for the whole classroom, but I would just be amazed by the end of the school year when they would bring all their stuff back from school. And I'm like, how do we still have so much stuff? Part of it was we wanted to make sure our sons were prepared. But instead, we ended up purchasing things that would be available later. Part of this is emotional spending. We want to make sure our sons are prepared. But by purchasing with emotions, we ended up just buying too much stuff. And we ended up donating a lot of it, which is not a bad thing, but we could have saved them money. Unlike younger kids, high school and college kids, often they don't even really know everything they need until classes actually start. And then they get their syllabus. That's when they really learn some responsibility and planning. Part of this comes down to there's specific instructions on the syllabus about the classes that they need. Now, sometimes they'll get the stuff during the summer and you get all those books ahead of time. Often there are going to be different books and things that they're going to need throughout the semester, and the syllabus will have them on there. They will also have deadlines that they have to go in accordance with. And so this way they can keep track of these things and make sure they have everything they need. Even though we want to step in and take care of everything, this is the time to let them take care of it themselves. If they ask for help, we're here to give guidance, but not to do the work itself. Have you already been making some plans for your son for the next school year? Have you thought about, what your son needs in his new college room? If not, don't worry about it. There's no concern. They have stores where your son's in college, and the stores will be open after your son starts high school. Often, there are a lot of things that we just don't know what we need until the time arrives. And that's not a bad thing. So there's no need to stress. There's no need to worry. This is a new time for our kids, and we want them to succeed. But part of that success is them learning how to take care of themselves and how to learn what their own needs are. Also, just because the supplies are all in the school doesn't mean you got to buy them right away. Take your time. Don't rush through this last part of summer. Enjoy it with your kids. Enjoy it with your family. Your son is growing up, and he's becoming a young man you can be proud of. And as he learns these new life skills, he'll be ready for the new school year. If this episode of Raising Boys with Purpose encouraged you, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of this podcast. And if you're raising a teen or young adult son and want encouragement and practical guidance, come join us in the Raising Boys with Purpose Facebook community. The link is below. Thanks for being here today. Now grab your iced coffee, hug your son, and remember, you're raising him with purpose.